Good morning, one and all. I am Udeshri, working as assistant professor in St. Peter's Engineering College in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Today, let us discuss about few topics from Unit 3 of Metrology and Machine Tools. So, this is the syllabus of Metrology and Machine Tools. Milling machines, principles of working, types of milling machines, geometry of milling cutters, methods of indexing, grinding, theory of grinding, classification of grinding machines, types of abrasives, bonds, selection of grinding wheel, lapping, honing and broaching machines, comparison and constructional features, machining time calculations. So, this is the syllabus of Unit 3. So now let us, in today's class, let us look at the definition of what is milling and what is grinding, and let us learn about different types of milling machines. So this is milling. Milling is an operation where you have a multi-point rotating tool to perform the given operation or to remove the unwanted material. Generally, milling is performed on the flat components, and it's not mandatory that it should be always flat. Sometimes you can also go for milling over the cylindrical components also. Next one is a grinding operation. Grinding is an abrasive metal cutting operation where you have abrasives. Abrasives in the sense very small and hard particles which has a sharp edge, and every edge will act as a cutting tool. So if you look at the figure, here is a grinding wheel, and on the grinding wheel you will be having the abrasives. Okay, we use different types of abrasives, and the selection of grinding wheel will be based upon the type of material which we are using. Okay, so the grinding wheel material means, or the abrasives should be stronger than the cutting tool or the workpiece which we are using. Okay, so here we have grinding wheel made with metals, and also we have grinding wheels which are made with diamond and graphite also. So depending upon the hardness of the material which we are on which we are performing the operation, based on that material we'll choose the type of grinding wheel. So let us first look at the parts of milling machine. This milling machine is generally mounted on the floor, and this is called as base. So the part which is mounted on the floor is called as base, and the base will have a vertical column, and this vertical column will have all the wires, and also it gives a vertical support for the machine for the movement of the table and the saddle. So this is a column, and this is knee. Knee is the supporting column for the table and the saddle. So this knee can make a up and down motion, that is the vertical motion on the column, and this is the saddle. Saddle will help us to for the movement of the table. So saddle is the intermediate part, or the combining part between the knee and table, and table is the part on which we'll mount the workpiece. So we'll clamp the workpiece on the table, and here is the ram. The ram can move on, means if you can fix the tool with the movement of this ram, it can move in horizontal direction, and this ram will be mounted on the column. And at the end of this ram you will be having a milling head, and this and for this milling head you will be connecting a spindle, and tool will be present in this spindle. So here, in case of milling operation, the workpiece will be clamped on the table, and the tool will be in the spindle, and when spindle rotates, and this milling head is flexible to move. So depending upon the shape we require, and depending upon the input which we give, the milling head will make different profiles on the component. Okay, so this is about the parts of milling machine. We have different types of milling machine. Let us look at each and everything. The first one is column and knee type of milling machine. So this is the column and knee type of milling machine. So the bottom part is called as base, and the vertical part is called as column. And here you have an elevating screw. The purpose of elevating screw is for the up and down movement of the knee. And over the knee you will be having a saddle, and this saddle will give support to the table, and the purpose of this is that the table will give support to the workpiece. It means workpiece will be clamped on the table, and saddle will be used for the up and down for the sideward movements of the table, and the up and down movement is adjusted by the movement of the knee, and the knee will move with the help of the column and also on the elevating screw. So this elevating screw will be used for the up and down motion, and here will be the cutting tool for performing the operation. So this is the overhead arm, and this is the spindle. So the spindle will rotate, and as a result the tool will also rotate. So this is about column and knee type of milling machine. Next one is the vertical milling machine. The name itself indicates the spindle will perform the operation in vertical direction. Here you will be having a rotating spindle, and rotating spindle will perform a milling operation in the vertical direction. Similarly, in case of horizontal milling machine, the tool will move in horizontal direction like this. See, the tool is here. So the tool will move in horizontal direction in case of horizontal milling machine. Next is fixed bed type of milling machine. Here the bed will be fixed to the machine, and the component will be over this bed, and the tool will be fixed in the check. So this check will be very flexible for moving. So the bed will not move, but only the check will move. So that is about fixed bed milling machine. Next one is simplex type of milling machine. In case of simplex type of milling machine, the tool will move only in one direction and mostly in a vertical direction. So only if there is only movement in one direction of the tool, then we call it as simplex milling machine. And similarly, duplex milling machine. In case of duplex milling machine, the movement of tool will be in both the direction, horizontal direction and also in the vertical direction. Next one is a triplex milling machine. In case of triplex milling machine, the tool will move in horizontal, vertical direction, means x, y and z, all the directions, all the three axes. Next one is a planar type of milling machine. This type of milling machine is used for making the surface finish operations. Here the tool will be fixed and the milling bed, it means on which we will mount the workpiece. It means the workpiece will move and the tool will be fixed in case of planar type of milling machine. Next one is special type of milling machine where you can perform horizontal, vertical and inclined, means you can move the tools and workpieces in all the degrees and all the angles. So you can make all different types of milling operations on single machine. So that is about a special type of milling machine. Next one is tracer milling machine. In case of tracer milling machine, you can manufacture very complicated parts like aerospace parts. So wherever you have more difficulty of getting different profiles, there we use a tracer milling machine. Next one is a CNC milling machine. So in case of CNC milling machine, everything will be programmed. Program in the sense we'll write a NC program, and that NC program will be in the form of G codes and M codes. So G codes are used for the movement of the tool, and whereas M codes are used for the machining operations, means operating the machine. Okay, so here we'll write a program using G codes and M codes, that is a CNC program. So the machine will run based upon the program that we have given. Okay, next is the operations that can be performed on the milling machine.
Plain milling operation, face milling operation, end milling operation, fore milling operation, T-slot milling operation, side milling operation, gear milling operation, straddle milling operation, grooves milling operation and gang milling operation. Now let us look at all these operations along with the figures. See, first one is a plain milling operation. We call it as a slab milling operation also. So here we'll be having a fixed workpiece and we'll flat the surface using some tool that is called as plain milling cutter. So the plane milling cutter will rotate and it will remove the material over the workpiece and it will flatten the surface. So that is about plane milling. Next one is face milling. In case of face milling, wherever you need to uh, make a surface finish for a component or wherever you want to remove the material on the workpiece in horizontal direction, in those cases we use a face milling operation. So this is the cutting tool with multiple cutting points and this is the workpiece. So the cutting tool will rotate on the workpiece and it will produce the surface. That is a machined surface or a surface with good means face with a good surface finish. Next one is end mill operators. So wherever you want to perform the milling operation at the corners or at the ends, then there we use a end milling operation. Next one is form milling. In case of form milling, will produce concave shapes and convex shapes. And the cutting tool which we use for form milling is form milling cutters. Next one is T-slot milling operation. So here, whatever the slots we make in T shape. And this will be done at the corners. And this operation is called as T-slot milling operation. Next one is side milling operation. In case of side milling operation, we make milling operation at the corners. It can be any of the four corners. We make milling operation at the corners, then we call it as side milling operation. Here also you will be having a rotating tool with multi-point cutting edge. Next one is gear cutting milling operation. Here we cut the gear teeth with the help of this gear cutter and this is also a multi-point cutting tool and this is a rotating tool. Next one is a straddle milling operation. So in case of a straddle milling operation, you will be having a table and over the table the workpiece will be mounted and you will be have a cutting tool in such a way that you can perform the operations on both the corners. So if you are performing on both the ends and if these two cutters will move parallelly and this type of operation is called as straddle milling operation. Next one is groove milling operation. In case of groove milling operation, we can make some grooves. So the groove shape need not be same as shown in the figure. The grooves can be of different shapes and see groove is something which we make in the middle of the component, not at the corners. So here whatever this type of the or whatever the shape of the groove you require, if you are making some internal slots in the component, then we call it as grooving. Next one is gang milling operation. In case of gang milling operation, we perform different types of milling operation at a time. Now if you look at this, see this is the milling tool and this is the workpiece and you have different profiles here. So we are performing different machining operations on the same workpiece at a time. So that is about gang milling machine. Now let us look at the nomenclature of milling cutters. Okay. So this is the milling cutter. This is a milling cutter. This is the front view and this is the side view. So if you look from the side view, you can find the width of, in the sense, the thickness of the gear which you have, and here the teeth of this gear cutters, means all the multiple gear cutters which you have, these things will be arranged in an helical order. So you can find some angles like this and with the help of these milling cutters we perform different milling operations. So these are the different cutting edges which we have. So here these sharp edges are called as the cutting edge and the angle, means the surface which is beside the cutting edge, is called as land, and the workpiece or the waste material scrap will flow on this land, and depth of tool is the distance from its inner diameter to outer diameter of the gear cutter, and pitch of the teeth is the distance between consecutive, means the teeth which are beside is each other. So the distance between two edges of two consecutive teeth is called its pitch. And see, the complete outer dimension of this wheel is called as outer diameter, and this sharp edge is called as cutting edge. Uh, each face of it, this is means each one complete edge with all the features is called its tooth. It means one teeth, and here is the gateway, and here is the hole. So the we can insert this cutting tool into some shaft, and we can lock it with some gateway or with a keyway. And here is some rake angle. The purpose of this rake angle is for the smooth movement of the chips. It can be a continuous chips or discontinuous chips. It is used for the movement of chips over the cutting tool. And here we have some angles like a primary clearance angle and secondary clearance angle, and the purpose of these angles is for the easy movement of the tool, easy movement of the uh, work pieces or else the scrap over the tool. So this is about the nomenclature of milling cutter. Now let us look at the syllabus, that means let us look at the topics which we have discussed today. So milling machine, principles of working, types of milling machines, geometry of milling cutters, and methods of indexing. So next we learn about methods of indexing in milling machine.
This is called as indexing head. And before knowing about what is indexing head and its mechanism, let us know what is indexing. Indexing is the process where we divide the workpiece or else the component which you want to produce into number of equal parts. So we'll divide the component into number of equal parts and then we generate its profile. Say for example, if you want to generate some gear, okay, or produce some gear. So here in order to produce the gear, what we do is we divide the component into number of equal parts. So the division of number of equal parts is called as indexing. So here also while performing the operation, we divide the components into different sectors, or we will divide it into number of parts and we'll complete the number of parts. Now let us look at the indexing head, or this is the head which is used while performing the machining operations. Okay, this is the handle, and here behind this you will be having a crank pin which can be seen in detail here in the second view. So here will be the crank pin. This is the indexing plate, and indexing plate will be with number of holes. Based on the number of holes that you have on the indexing plate will decide its specifications. In the sense, based upon the number of holes, we'll say the type of indexing plate that we are using. And this indexing plate is connected to some worm shaft, and this is the worm gear. Here you have a worm gear, and this is also a worm gear, and this is the spindle, and this is the center. So here what happens is, with rotation of this handle, the index plate will rotate. As a result, the worm shaft will rotate. As a result, this worm gear will rotate. When worm gear is rotating, the center of this tool will also rotate. So here what happens is, with every 40 rotations of this indexing plate, this center will make one rotation. So this is because of this one thread. So motion transmission. So depending upon the gear ratios we have, uh, the moment will be like this. Generally, the indexing will be done in this such a way that if you make 40 rotations with this indexing plate, it will make one rotation of the workpiece. So here you have different ways of making this indexing. So directly you can rotate this, or else you can directly rotate the gear, or you can make this indexing with the position of this handle. It means with the help of the angles. So like this, in different ways we make this indexing mechanism. But however, indexing is a process where we divide the component into number of different parts or number of parts to complete that profile. So this is called as indexing head. That's about today's class. Thank you.